We appreciate those people who are very good at political propaganda. The president is very angry because every leader currently in parliament, both Senate and National Assembly, has been part and parcel of how we are going to transform our region, just like other leaders are doing. But how is it that when we discuss, then you go and expose the president? We will stand with him. The president has got our support, and we want to say categorically that we are not going to let it lying down for anybody who is going to go after President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It appears there are some people who have been paid to tarnish his names. Yeah, young boys who have come to politics just the other day. The owner of the dog, we know who is the owner of the dog. And we'll go at you. And let me...
This is the treasure hunt. These broken glasses could seem rubbish to most locals, but to Amos Wachira, it isn't.
The grass is the best. Everywhere you go, you have to meet a grass. Anywhere. That's why I feel bad when I see people breaking bottles, throwing broken glasses. I feel bad because I need to recycle.
Amos recycles glass, and he has been doing this for at least 15 years.
After I collect the bottle, or I collect the window glass, then I put them in the furnace, whereby the temperature is too high, I remelt. Then after remelting, when I see the glass is ready, I normally look and then see the temperature of the glass. Then after seeing the temperature is okay, I normally use a brewing pipe.
The glass is melted at 1,400 degrees Celsius. With his good craftsmanship, it takes Amos about 10 minutes to shape a jug with speed and accuracy.
I produce any kind of the glass, from drinking glass, tabla, one champagne, any kind, any idea you have, we can change it into a glass, so I can make anything.
He works with less challenges and is able to meet the growing demand for his products. Customers include homeowners, hotels, and expatriates.
I always appreciate his stuff. It was good parcel, good household.
Products here cost between 8,000 Uganda shillings to 160,000 Uganda shillings.
My heart is to see them, to see Ugandan making their own grasses. That's my heart.
And as Amos churns out more products, he is hopeful that this initiative will help rid the environment of glass waste. Solomon Serwanja, KTN News, Kampala, Uganda.
Thank you for staying with the big story this evening. So I'd like to cross over to Kakamega and speak to Member of Parliament, Kiminini Member of Parliament, Didmas Baraza. Didmas, a group of leaders today came out to defend President Uhuru Kenyatta, saying they cannot allow anyone to tarnish President Uhuru Kenyatta's name. And I think this is on the basis of what Moses Kuria had to say with respect to development. You're a Member of Parliament. Is there any reason to defend the President with the questions or issues that were raised by Moses Kuria? He was talking about development.
I don't see, and I think the statement by the Senator Isaac Maura is very unfortunate. But you know, in this country, the members of parliament who represent the single constituencies are accountable before the people who elected them. And at the end of the day, after 5 years, they will go through another interview, but, before the same people. But Isaac Mwaura is a nominated senator, and what he's doing, he's working. He wants to appease his nominating authority, who is the party leader for Jubilee. As members of parliament, we have a right to express what we feel is good for this country. We have a right to say what we think resonates very well with the people that we represent. And to me, a member of parliament and the president are within the same band. When you have a person or an institution that oversights the other, then it means that the two institutions, the institution of parliament and that one of the presidency, are within the same band. And the only person in this country who has a right to fault what the president is doing are members of parliament. And ourselves, even though we've been told by our deputy president that we need to toe the party line and respect the party structures and that all is well, but we are also members of parliament. We have our own way of looking at things, and very soon we are running out of patience. We are no longer going to be just as the royal cry, that when the king is naked, we will tell the king that we are naked. And for me, what Moses Kuria spoke about is there's nothing wrong with that statement. I think it's very correct. And we will continue saying what we think is good for this country. We will never be intimidated by anybody. We will say what we want to say. And we will soon going to run out of patience. And we will call the party leader of our party, of our Jubilee, who is a person that we respect, that he must convene a party meeting so that some of these things can be properly ironed out.
Danson Omari, there's the need to call for a party meeting so that some of these issues can be ironed out. This is a president who is into the second term of his presidency. What should be in his entree now? I know he's been defended today, but as the president, what should he be working towards now, 4 years down? He still has 4 years to go.
Linda, the first term of the president was occupied by the ICC. Later, it became the issue of the election of 2017. Then another rerun. Then there was a question about the legitimacy of the presidents after Raila Odinga did not accept that President Uhuru Kenyatta was the ultimate head of state. Then he has resolved that problem by having the handshake. In less than 6 months after that handshake, a major crisis has hit his political party, Jubilee, by that handshake. So right now, there are two issues. The agenda about Agenda 4 will not be an agenda for the citizens when the issue about the succession issues of 2022 have taken over. The issue about the change of the constitution, referendum issue, with a view of creating positions and with a view of urging other people, will be at the entree of the president in these remaining 3.5 years. Is it that we are likely to see a move heading towards the party elections of Jubilee? Yes, we are likely to see that. We have the census that is supposed to be done. We have the delimitation of the boundaries that is supposed to be done. We have, if the referendum is there, that is another issue. We have our own challenges, the loans of China. We have other issues about development. So I think the president only got a small breather. The reality of his second term is coming. This is a president who is likely to be a lame duck president earlier than other presidents who are there. The reason being that already within his party, Jubilee, there are cracks that I imagine. You can see Didmas, Mheshimiwa Didmas, is talking as if in the old time he was in ODM. For God's case, that is a Jubilee member. You see Mwaura talking as if Mwaura is in Jubilee. That is a Jubilee member. The house of Jubilee is now appearing that is a house that is built on cards. Are we likely to see a serious implosion coming out? Raila Odinga's handshake, was it a handshake to punish President Uhuru Kenyatta? I think so. Because right now, President Uhuru Kenyatta's territory, Mount Kenya region, is up in arms. Is it cutters of who? Cutters of Raila Odinga. are we likely to see, within a very short time, serious seismic actions and tectonic movements? He's not confident that Tuju is the Secretary General. Murade has put it very clearly. And the only issue, the whole problem that this nation now is in, is what Murade said. Murade has said it very...
From where you sit, what will it take? What should the president do to fix this? His house is clearly not in order. You have leaders defending him today. What will it take for the president to get the whole team out of this?
First, Linda, you understand that our captains during 2017 elections was His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta himself and his deputy William Ruto. Myself, I remember in the run-up to the last elections, I was in ODM, and at the last minute I was given a direct ticket by Honorable Raila Odinga to fly ODM's flag bearer insofar as the elections of Member of Parliament for Jubilee was concerned. Now, I had a meeting with the president and his deputy. They told me very many things about Raila Odinga, not limited to him being a witchcraft, a person who practices, who is not honest, very many bad words. I switched camp and joined Jubilee, and I took the same gospel to the people of Jubilee constituency that don't vote for Raila Odinga because of what I was told about him by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
Which are, of course, allegations?
Absolutely. And I don't want to imagine that I misled the people of Jubilee constituency into not voting for Raila Odinga because of what I was told. So when my party leader decided now that he's going to work very closely with Raila Odinga, he ought to have first convened a meeting with us, his foot soldiers, and explains to us the benefits of the handshake so that we can support it. But putting the handshake under badge in a completely sealed envelope is planting a seed of disintegration of Jubilee as a party. And I cannot imagine that what is going on is the president is not alive to the fact of what is happening today. Now, we have never had any party meetings apart from the parliamentary group meetings where you go to State House and you are being told now this is coming up, we are going to support this. I think the democracy of a party and the national outlook of the party is not just in terms of how many tribes are members of this party, but also is in terms of how frequently that the party machineries, the party membership meets to strategize going ahead. And the fact that my party leader has not told us that the handshake is a merger between ODM and the Jubilee, then this means that going forward into the future, into the 2022 general elections, ODM will remain a competitor and that we are in competition. Then this one also leaves us worried lot, and we begin to speculate. And because we are in this country, we are members of parliament, we are driven by the bigger picture, the agenda going forward into 2022, we will be forced also to strategize and meet and find a way forward.
You know, you're not giving me solutions, because what I wanted is what essentially can the president do to get the entire team out of here?
The president, being the party leader of Jubilee, is obliged to call for Jubilee party meetings. The delegates, including Mama Mboga, who has a Jubilee smart card, has a right to ask her party leader to convene for a party meeting so that we can iron out pertinent issues. We borrowed heavily from what happens in South Africa in ANC, from what happens in Tanzania in CCM. And you see even that the party structure is more powerful than the president himself, because the party can come together and strip the president of his position either as party leader, and that's not a good thing to go.
Okay.
So what we are saying is that the party leader should convene a meeting. We realize that we have a lot of issues that are not clear within the party, and the party leader must convene a meeting of the party so that we can try to find the way forward on whether we are going to remain together or we disintegrate.
Great. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Community Member of Parliament, Didmas Baraza. And that is where we wrap it up here on The Big Story this evening. A big thank you to my guests, Wakili Danstan Omari, Didmas Baraza, who's the Community Member of Parliament. A big thank you as well to Martha Karua, NARC Kenya leader, who also shared her sentiments on what's going on within the Jubilee Party and the calls to defend President Uhuru Kenyatta. A big thank you as well to Isaac Mwaura, who's the nominated senator who was speaking to my colleague Chris Thairo. However, it's important that we have a conversation about this country and where it's heading. And that's why every single day of having The Big Story, I will pick out a tweet that sort of takes us back to where we are as a country and maybe nudge us to think. So this evening, I'm picking the tweet of Donald Kipkorir. He's a lawyer. He says, Kenya is made up of over 44 tribes and counting. To therefore perpetuate a falsehood that Kikuyus and Kalenjins have a political alliance undermines the very rubric of our nation and state. To threaten or allege there will be violence on a tribe during elections is terrorism and treason. And that is why we leave it here on The Big Story this evening. Thank you so much for watching. KTN Prime is up next with Akisa Wandera and Yusuf Ibrahim. We'll see you next week. I'm Linda Ogutu.